from Washington, and so much history in this area. But one of these sidewalks again. So I'm going to be walking extraordinarily slowly down Prince Street toward the waterfront. And we'll go to the waterfront too. But I like this little one on the corner here. I love these little teeny tiny federal style buildings. This one has a tin roof, as you can see. Plain brick. Probably early to mid 1800s on that one. As we walk down the street, we're going to see a combination of brick and wood clapboard structures. These are going to be the oldest ones here. We're walking east on Prince Street toward the waterfront in Old Town Alexandria, Virginia. Now this is not a street where I can dart back and forth across the street because we're in rush hour right now. There's a lot of traffic. So I'll try to focus on one side of the street, but also give a view across the streets as we go. You can see the mix of wood and brick structures. Pretty simple two-story structures here. This is just a textbook right here, a textbook federal style right there with the tin roof. Trying not to be aiming into people's cars as they go by. Hi, AWOL. Nice to have you join. So let's take a look at that one. That is textbook right there. I really like that one. Hi, Mike. Wow, they park their cars like they build properties. Hi, Ahmed. Yeah, so take a look at this one. So here we have brick with a tin roof, and right next to it, the whitewashed brick with the black window frames. That's also a new feature. You kind of see that's a trend in new construction with those black window frames, and I am all for it. I love it. This sidewalk is not my friend right now, so I'm going to be extra careful. Thanks for joining, Mike, and thanks for joining, Ahmed. We'll get a good look here. These are small, right? These are just small homes. Alexandria, a major port in the United States, in the early Washington, D.C., in the history of our nation's capital here. And we're here on a day when we celebrate the first American Pope. Oh my gosh, what a great day for historians. So take a look at this one. So I do really like this one as well. Also with the black window frames, right? This olive color painted brick. I'm okay with painted brick. I like the way that, no, this isn't Florida. This is Alexandria, Virginia, just near Washington, D.C. But this one, you get the, that real colonial feel. The painted brick, you have the live free or die flag of the pre-revolutionary days, which is so cool. Other ornamentation that you might see around these homes that indicate how early they are. You can kind of see on this beige and black here. The door knocker is a pineapple. The pineapple symbolizing hospitality. So just a really nice mix. But this was a seaport, and so the folks who lived here might have been working at the seaport, early merchants. This is the symbol for the homes that are part of the Alexandria Historic Foundation early building survey. So this one was surveyed, documented, and probably has some preservation requirements around it. You can see most of the homes here on this stretch of Prince Street have that plaque to indicate, hey, Abe, great to see you, Abe. And check out the shutters. Loving the shutter action here. This is a really great place to walk, except be really careful on the sidewalks in these areas. And I'm seeing a chandelier inside that one, kind of hard to film. I'm not going to jump back and forth across the street here. It's rush hour and it's just too busy. We do, but you know, we don't have as much history, Ahmed, as the rest of the world. You know, we have a relatively short period of history as a nation, 249 years to be exact. Next year we are celebrating 250 years of the United States of America. So that's pretty cool. And you do see, as you see, oh, that's a loud one. You do see a mix of modern architecture here in this area. This is it's a busy area for business. Walking quickly, sorry about that. But check out this beauty here with the yard, with the brick fenced yard. So this obviously would have been someone who is a person of importance in the area, probably in the late 1700s. And we're going to get a really good look at an insurance plaque on this structure. So if you can see, it says FICO, a fire insurance company perhaps. So in the oldie days, you would pay into your local fire insurance company, which was a fire station. And when your house was on fire, they looked to see that you had paid your dues, that you had your plaque hanging there. If you paid your dues, they would put out your fire. If you hadn't paid your dues, well, you'd have to rely on the kindness of your neighbors, perhaps. I like to think that they wouldn't let a house burn down, but you know, you purchase those policies for a reason. Now these homes, as we get closer to the waterfront, are a little bigger. We've got some 3-story buildings here. Also the historic survey plaque. Yeah, Ahmed, back then, yes, you had to pay. If you had that's why you had to pay for your fire insurance. And today it would be, okay, you pay insurance in case you lose something in a fire, that you can have it replaced, like your home or your goods. But back then, you had to pay to have firefighting services. But as you know, as cities and towns grew and then began to tax their citizens, then they provided those, began providing those services. I have one of those plaques. My grandmother had one from the Baltimore Equitable Insurance Company, and I have one of those. It's a shaking hands. And so it was a mutual association, meaning everybody pooled their money, right, to protect the neighborhood. So it was shaking hands, like, mutual friendship. Now these probably date to the 1800s. These more kind of elaborate structures here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Didn't expect the rain today. All right, this is one of the main roads, so we're going to be extra careful before we cross here. Okay, we've got the walk sign, so we'll go ahead. As you can see, it rained here just a short bit ago. So the other night when I was streaming around Capitol Hill, and I kept walking and I kept walking, and I thought I had walked too far. Oh my gosh, I had walked way too far. It was a really long walk back to my car, but that's okay. It was a really good night. It was a very clear and calm weather. Lots of people out too, so that was okay. But yeah, I thought I had walked a little too far. You can imagine back in the day, these lamps being gas lit. Look at the cast iron steps here. You know, Mike, I agree. I like different settings for video and photos. Oh, that's gonna be loud. Like the other night, and these are some like 4-story buildings over here. The other night in Capitol Hill, I got there a little later than I planned, so it was past sunset. But although, like, to the human eye, it was dark, the camera was really picking up different shades of blue in the sky. It was beautiful. All right, I like this one over here. And that does have the natural gas lamp, which I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of natural, well, non-LED lighting in any form, whether it's incandescent bulbs or the old sodium vapor. Now check this one out with the American Eagle above the door. That's quite interesting. We're on Prince Street, walking east toward the waterfront. Alexandria was a port, and we're going to see the water. And today it's a pretty big business and commercial center. We call this area Old Town for a reason. As you can see, it's so hot in the Mideast. It's like that all the time though, isn't it, Ahmed? I hope you're used to it. Look at these little beauties on the corner. These little 2-story with an attic. So, we get into these conversations about what is federal style and what is Georgian and what is colonial. And some folks have told, I'm not an expert in that time period, but sometimes it's the ornamentation around the door. So this would still be federal style, even though it is a little more ornamented over the door with that keystone pattern versus like a flat lintel. And then this would be 1800s for sure. And you see these kinds of buildings more, this is what I call like that Southern influence. And this one I adore. This might have been a coal chute or wood, to have coal delivered for your furnace. My parents' house in Baltimore had a coal chute in the front. It's been bricked over here. And that may have been a gas lamp here. But this one, obviously an older building. Whoopsie. Gotta watch this sidewalk. Now this restored masterpiece over here, this 3-story with a conservatory attached. Wonder what that was back in the day. And now the closer we get to the water, I'm guessing the more affluent the residents were. Now this obviously has had some decoration added, but whoa, and this is called the Prince. I'm guessing a hotel. Interesting for sure. You can kind of peek in. Yeah, I know there's security cameras, but I'm peeking in. You got your windows open. I can peek. And now we're going full Southern here with all the ironwork on this balcony. These would have been huge French doors or windows opening up to these balconies with the ironwork here around the steps. I mean, I'm guessing this would have been a hotel of some sort. Might still be today. Abe, what you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Let me guess, you're playing Conan. Like this one. I fired up Elden Ring last night, and oh my gosh, I hadn't updated my NVIDIA. I hadn't updated my NVIDIA drivers. Oh, sorry about that, Ahmed. So Elden Ring, it was bizarre. I had to It was choppy. I couldn't even get a full screen view. It was crazy. But yeah, it had been a few months, so it took me a while. I'd forgotten all my forgot all the controls as well. Forgot all the what were my E's and what were my F keys. I forgot everything about Elden Ring, and that's sad. Like that one on the corner, really do. Wait for a nice safe point at which to cross the street. Oh, nice, Abe. Oh, well, that's good. You doing anything fun with the folks? I hope whatever it is, you have nice weather. You get to do fun stuff. All right, let's see what this thing is here. I see a plaque. I like a good plaque. Ooh, wow. Okay, this is the Swan Dangerfield House. Dangerfield spelled D-A-I-N. A private residence listed in the National Register. Of course it is. Thomas Swan, United States Attorney for the District of Columbia. Henry Dangerfield, successful entrepreneur, landowner, etc. St. Mary's Academy, a private Catholic prep school. Carter Hall. Goodness, this place was everything. It's quite beautiful. Quite beautiful tile work. Wow. That's a good one. That's really a nice place. 1802. Well, I'm quite admiring this huge residence. It says private residence. Holy moly. I mean, this is a mansion. Yeah, this one says it's a private residence, or at least it says private property. This one here, nice. As they say, a detached dwelling. Beautiful. All right, we're getting closer to the waterfront now. And the sun's coming out, so that should make for some good shots. It's such an eclectic mix here, although definitely a colonial city, a pre-colonial city was Alexandria. One of the three components of Washington, D.C. Was the city of Alexandria here, the city of Georgetown, which we've traversed a few times, and then, you know, what became Washington, you know, the District of Washington, Georgetown and Washington being parts of the state of Maryland. It's a courthouse here. And Alexandria being part of Virginia across the river. All was good in 1790. And then not too long later, not too long after, Alexandria decided, you know what, we don't really want to be part of the nation's capital. We're kind of cool by ourselves. So they removed themselves from being part of the nation's capital. Now there's a good old maybe department store over there. I don't know. The building that says Donahoe Buildings, or some kind of business. Now that's a late 1800s, maybe early 1900s building. Here on another one of the main streets, this is Washington Street. What's the time in Washington now? It's 5:30 p.m. So most folks are done with work for the day. I'm done for a minute, and then when I get back home, I have to do a little more work, but that's all good. And now we're into more 1800s architecture. 19th century, 1800s over here. It's 1:30 a.m. Well, oh my gosh, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Oh, I see. Hey, Alexandria. Hey, we just got started a few minutes ago. I'm glad you could join. I know you asked earlier if I was streaming, or yesterday if I was streaming. I never know when I'm going to. It depends on when I get done with work. And then like now, I'm just avoiding the traffic. So taking a little walk. I'm really so glad you're here. We're at the corner of Prince and St. Asaph. Asaph. Weird little street, but a cute little house across the way. We'll cross as soon as we get the... There's a gas lamp. I see a gas lamp. Gas lamp, gas lamp. Does Alexandria have modern houses? Oh, yes. Yes, there are modern houses and apartments and condos, and it's super duper expensive to live here. Super duper expensive here. I don't live here. I'd love to live here. I'd love to own a federal style house for certain. All right. So this is a lovely picture here. The gas lamps. Beautiful. Now across the way. Okay, this one. Oh, this is just lovely. There's some historic plaques there, but I'm not crossing this street yet. It's gonna be, I'll cross after we go to the waterfront. If I ever visit Springfield, Illinois, send me an email. Would love to pick your brain. Sure thing, Mike. Absolutely. I will let you know. Okay, being extra careful. I can already feel this is a dangerous sidewalk ahead of me. Lots of trees overhanging. And this is the Ticer House. The core structure here was built in the 1780s, with the front rooms added in the early and mid 1800s, home of Patsy and Jack Ticer, the first woman mayor of Alexandria. Well, good on her. You go, girl. More iron work. Ooh, and a stop. A stop work order. Whoopsie. Code violation, perhaps. Or maybe not. I don't want to assume why there's a stop work order there. But your home is covered or regulated by certain historic codes. One must abide by those. Oh, look at this one. Brigadier General Montgomery Course.